This is so impromptu. I don't know who's out there, but
welcome and thank you for tuning into the American Investor Show. Please click subscribe if this is your first time listening. From trader and CEO interviews to breaking news about companies you won't hear anywhere else, nobody does a better job at keeping you in the know when it comes to penny stocks. The term penny stock generally refers to a security issued by a very small company that trades at less than $5 per share. Penny stocks are extremely risky, yet they offer rates of return on investment not seen anywhere else. The host, guest, and callers are not registered financial advisors licensed by any government entity, and therefore, the following should be considered entertainment. The host, guest, and callers disclaim all liability in the event any information, commentary, analysis, opinions, advice, and/or recommendations prove to be inaccurate, incomplete, or unreliable, or result in any investment losses. Before investing in penny stocks, you should consult a professional to determine what strategy may be best for your individual needs. Now, without further ado, your host, LaSalle and Ingu.
Yes, what's going on, everyone? Sound back in the building. Very impromptu show. You guys know how it's been lately. That's just kind of how it's been. Shout out to the people in the chat room. Again, I don't know how many people are going to show up, but again, I just feel like talking about stocks right now. What's going on, Information Man Show? Appreciate you, bro. Poker Pro, what's going on, man? Yes, indeed. It's definitely been a minute. Donnie Harris, what's going on? Donzel Essex, appreciate you, bro. Long time watching her. Jim Gray as well. Quintavious Lanier, what's going on, bro? Yes, indeed. Shout out to the people watching right now, wherever you are now and in the future. Let's talk about the markets, man. I just feel like having this kind of a global conversation right now about where we are. Today we had Fed Chief Jerome Powell basically go ahead and admit that the federal government, the White House, has practically co-opted the institution. Basically co-opted the Federal Reserve, which is a private organization that is chartered by God knows who to do what is in the best interest for the stability of our currency. And they've been completely co-opted. And if you didn't see the report, basically Federal Reserve Jerome Powell said that they will be quote unquote patient when it comes to rate hikes. That means it's not coming. That basically means that rate hikes are not coming. And if you saw the Warren Buffett interview on Monday, where Warren Buffett claims that stocks are cheap, which is absolutely ridiculous. I don't know if you've been, anybody here who trades stocks regularly. Stocks are not cheap at all. I mean, if anything, you're having a really hard time finding value. I'm having a really hard time finding value. I'm not even a buy and hold guy, but when you have, when you've got Walmart trading at 50 times PE, I think it is now, absolutely ridiculous valuations. It's hard to find, a great deal. But Warren Buffett is right. If we're going to continue to have free money, right, zero interest rate money, then yes, stocks are cheap. Stocks are cheap, and they're going to continue to go higher. But as you can see here with today's move, we broke the trend with today's move. We've been struggling with that 2,800. I know 2,800 is a barrier. It's a mental barrier, right? Nobody wants to be a bag holder up there. You got people who are nervous. The stock market really is about trading feelings and emotions of other traders. Yes, we understand we're also competing against a lot of bots, right? We've talked about how the average hold period for a stock on the New York Stock Exchange is 22 seconds, right? So it's imperative that as traders we do our best to preferably trade on some more longer time frames, because that is really the only place you can be able to kind of see a trend developing, right? Because we know that on the short time frames, 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute, it's just noise. It's really just noise and bots that can get you blown out if you don't know what you're doing. What's going on, Ken77? You said, is it time to short? It's a high probability short. It's a high probability short at these levels, right? Right? When we take out the Keltner channels, we're out there. We're at a resistance level, right? That's a high probability short. In fact, that's a great place for a spread. A resistance level is also a great way, a great place to sell, sell calls, right? That's also a great place, particularly in stocks that are low volatility. All right, particularly in stocks that are low volatility. All right, stocks that really pop, that really just have, maybe not a lot of paper out there on them, and I wouldn't dare do that. But this is a great place. Resistance levels are a great place to sell and get some income for the time being. All right. So just be aware of that. 2,800 is the resistance level. Look, they want 3,000 at the end of the day. They want that bad. And I don't doubt that they probably could get it. But we also understand that things on the macro level have been turning and have been turning quite aggressively. Real quick, this is Buffett again saying stocks and bonds for the next 10 years. You choose the S&P 500 in a heartbeat. And this is again in the same week when we're seeing that the U.S. consumer. Actually, let me go. I put all my information out there. Consumer debt hits $4 trillion. Consumer debt hitting $4 trillion this week. All right. And I'm not even going to talk about the fact that our national debt is $22 trillion. All right. Huge unfunded liabilities out there. All right. The stock market has a greater valuation than the current GDP. All right. Look that up. You Google that. The current United States stock market has a greater valuation as a whole than our GDP. There's no value. All right. Home prices in December rose the slowest pace since August of 2015. All right. Many of you guys live in these high-rising cities, all right, where real estate prices are up double digits for some of you. Double digits. Very expensive to buy a home in some of you guys' cities, right? Prices are slowing down. You're going to have an opportunity to buy a home here if you're not laden, like so many of us out here, with student loan debt. Student loan debt toppling $1 trillion on student loan debt. Right? So, yes, we're getting back to all-time highs. We're at this resistance level. We very well could break out. Why? Because the commander-in-chief does a great job tweeting, right? Every morning. We're down like 130 points the last 2 mornings. He'll send out a tweet, and next thing you know, we're going sideways the whole day. Because this goddamn China deal. Like, again, I've said this every single last couple episodes. All we're going to get out of the China deal is everything that they've already been doing. You know, we're not going to come out of this China, quote, China deal situation better than we went in. At the end of the day, they're still going to be creating our products. We're still going to have a more expensive workforce. And, you know, things are still going to be built in China. You know, we're going to get to the charts in just a second, Corey Kwan. Shout out to everybody slowly coming into the building. You know, JL Turn, what's up, bro? Absolutely. All right. Again, I'm all over the real estate situation. I called this out on Twitter. If you don't follow me on Twitter, check out my Twitter, which is Got Penny Stocks. I called this out on about 2 days ago. Yeah, 2 days ago. IRR is exhausted. Huge divergence on the higher time frames. RSI inability to make new highs, tapping out. Trusty, about 25 moving average. 861, I'm buying puts. 861, I'm buying puts there. So I am in on IYR. We'll see what happens on it, and we'll see if it holds. All right, we'll see whether or not IYR holds. Again, now dipping below the 25 moving average here on the hourly. Again, inability to really make new highs across as we go ahead and kind of level out here. And I think we're going to trend a little bit here. And possibly, of course, I'd love the breakdown, but more than likely we're going to be trending for a little while until we get some new news to send us higher. So right now, selling some of those out of the money calls on IYR as this, currently tries to find some kind of footing to find a reason to go higher. All right. So that's why, again, on these exhausted stocks, and there's so many of them out there, right? I mean, there's so many of them out there, stocks that are just tired. You can kind of sell these out of the money calls right now until we kind of find a reason to go higher. For those of you guys to look into verticals and bull put spreads and bear call spreads and all that. Or, for those that are, again, suffering from weakness, right? We had a few earnings losers recently, right? You can always go with the directional play, and Home Depot getting very close. Home Depot getting very close is going to be really interesting. Home Depot is a stock that I want to put out there for you guys to possibly look at. Maybe this is going to, give some of these gains back since the beginning of the year after this very poor earnings report. So Home Depot could be an opportunity for someone. Again, wait till the stock gets below that 50 RSI. You don't need to take any risk here moving forward. Let's see, it could possibly bounce. You can see here they're trying to buy it up, right? They know that that's the death sign. So it's a great opportunity for someone who thinks, hey, there's more potential in this. But again, I just showed you what's going on in the real estate sector. So this is an opportunity right now. I got a lotto play out there on Lowe's. Lowe's is tomorrow morning to be exact. So Lowe's is another one that I expect should deliver bad news, being that, again, their superior competitor, Home Depot, developed or delivered some weak earnings. I expect Lowe's to do the same. We'll see what happens on that. So on Lowe's, I went in on the April $70. I think on the April $70 or $75 puts for Lowe's. Again, just a complete lotto. It's a complete lotto pick. So we'll see if it goes my way or not. All right, less than $1,000 risked on that trade. EA was a disaster. If you remember my last episode, I talked about EA, and as you can see here, where EA is now, you could have sold those 105s or 104s or 100s, and you'd be solidly in some profit right now. NLST, jump on So Legit. Yeah, you can give me a call. My number is on. You guys know the number hasn't changed. 305-600-2896. Just let me know you're going to call. All right, because I turned the ringer off because it is annoying as hell. But you guys can call. Here it is. It reminds me of that Indian capitalization group that's running right now. All right, so we got a few of these small cap stocks that are just gone to Pluto recently. And again, I don't know why guys try to short these stocks as they're making their run higher. Just let them do what they're going to do. Just let them do what they're going to do. Guys getting killed trying to short these. Just let them run. Let them run. And you can always be a part of it, taking some risk here and adding as it continues to go your way. All right. NLST, nice move, but is there anything left here? Obviously, I don't want to be a buyer up there at 63 cents after a 3-day move like that. Patent infringement deal. Okay. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So yeah, that turnaround might be real healthy here, or that pullback might be real healthy. But as you can see here, if I pull up the Keltner channels here, you know, we're way up there, and obviously this is a time for some profit taking. But obviously, you know, if more buyers come in tomorrow, then you could hang up there for a minute like they did today. But looking into the hourly chart, we got a lot of hesitation candles over here. A lot of indecisive candles, right, that are showing up here. If we move to Heikin-Ashi model, again, a lot of inconsistency, a lot of indecisiveness in terms of those last couple hours here in the trading day today. All right, as traders try to figure out what's going to happen here. All right. Nice move. Nice move. Right. Very aggressive play. Very aggressive play. What's going on, Bruce? Yeah, IGCC, which is IGC now, right? Which is IGC now. And again, you know, these, I mean, you can always call these. I wrote an excellent paper on IGC a couple days ago. I think it was called, God, it's on medium.com. I wrote a paper on it. Let me see, what did I call it? I'll put it in the chat room here. I called it NYSE reinstates IGCC, but here's why it'll get delisted again. All right, so I kind of, you know, and I didn't break it down, you know, as deep as I probably could have. I could have gone a lot deeper, but basically I just talked about how, you know, the company is really scattered. It doesn't really know what it wants to do. It doesn't really know what business it wants to be in. There's the link to the article, and it's just basically one of those companies where it's supposed to be on OTC markets. All right, it's an OTC company. Their revenues, great revenues, was like 270% or something like that. But we're talking about a company that went from like 1.1 to like 2.5 million. They got no business trading on the New York Stock Exchange, right? The days of the New York Stock Exchange babysitting companies this small, those days are long gone. You know, those days are long gone. This company doesn't belong there. They're going to end up getting delisted again. That's why they took such a huge loss today, because they're not worth the paper they trade on. That's just the facts of the matter. All right. So this is going all the way back below $1 in due time. In due time. All right. Yes, indeed, Big Zinni. Yes, indeed. Let's take a look at some of the stocks you guys are talking about. All right. Let's take a look at some of the stocks you guys are talking about right now. Good God. VUZI. Dude, this stock sucks, man. Good Lord. Yeah, making new lows, and this is a horrible stock to be in right now. Look, you know, playing the dip isn't necessarily my thing to do, but you've been a loser for weeks in this thing. And yeah, definitely not my kind of play. Obviously, if you've been short the stock, you've done very, very, very well. But boy, that looks horrible. That looks horrible. Yeah, IGC was just hype. I mean, obviously they won that reinstatement, and guys got excited about it. You know, FOMO is for real, man. You know, people don't understand FOMO is real when it comes to the stock market. And if you get caught on the wrong side of the trade, it will blow you out. You know, that first day, I caught myself on EA, that first day recently on EA, when they came out and, you know, that Apex game came out. Now EA Sports has been hum on it, because although they've gotten a lot of people to sign up, a lot of people haven't spent any money. And that's why they really haven't said any more news about it. What's going on, Bats? 2950 Straddle on WTW. Okay. We'll take a look at that in a minute. Yes, indeed. What's up, John Rambo? 480. Who's 480? Who am I speaking with?
Poker Pro, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, what's going on with you, bro?
Not much. All right, so here's the thing. I really want to tell you about Netlist.
Okay.
All right. Honestly, this is my miracle stock. It went up 65 last week it was at 33%. Or excuse me, 33 cents. Now it's at 62.
Yeah.
So let me read to you real quick what this all is. All right. So I'm not an expert in stocks, but your videos from the past is basically what made me who I am today, which is a little more successful. And I thank you so much for all the videos. I wish you actually had more now.
Appreciate it.
So let me pull this up real quick on my TD Ameritrade. And I love Thinkorswim, which you're the one that recommended that. Let's see. All right, so it's at 63 cents right now. And where's it at? All right, so on the 19th of February, the United States Patent Trial and Appeal upholds validity on Netlist's 912 patent. And for some odd reason, I cannot pull this up on my phone, so let's try different. Let's do Weeble. All right, so that's the headline. Now, from all the information and due diligence that I have done with it, Google and a company called SK Hynix, which is a South Korean company, stole their patent and basically has been making money off of it, off these microchips. And this has been going on for the trial's been going on for about 3 or 4 years. All right, I got in about 6-7 months ago just because I kind of like the semiconductor industry. It's the wave of the future.
Right, of course.
So the last part of the post that I want to read is probably the most important one. All right, which is right here. Netlist regarding U.S. patent number blah 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 was dismissed with prejudice by the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of California. Netlist and Smart Modular, which is Google, jointly agreed to drop claims against one another, including counterclaims Netlist brought against Smart Modular and the 295 patent. So Google and Netlist both jointly agreed to drop all the claims. But the other company, SK Hynix, which is a $20 or $30 billion company, they're still going after them. And the judge denied SK Hynix and Google's appeals. Tomorrow is the conference call that's basically following up to this last post. That's when this was posted on the 19th. That's when it ran. And I have been all over the internet, scouring all the forums. And there are some people that have been in this for a long time, and the time is now. Like, I got my friend in pre-market on the 19th and told him everything. He bought in at 38 cents. It's now obviously at 63. It's only going up. And tomorrow, I believe they're going to hit $1 after the conference call. I'd say the best thing I can recommend to all your listeners and yourself, do the due diligence of what you can to find out more, because I'm not an expert at explaining some stocks, but I've done a lot with this one. All right, this is my bread and butter. I don't even swing trade it. I just keep buying it, and I've got a lot writing on this. But with so many other people that are in it, I am definitely more than confident out of any stock I've ever bought into. This is a stock that was probably going to change my life. You know, and when I saw your last show, I guess I caught it late, so I wasn't able to tell you about it.
Sure, not a problem. Hey, no, I mean, I wish you the best on it, bro. I mean, obviously, people are listening. They're going to do their own due diligence and come to a conclusion. And if they decide to jump in it, I wish you know, them the best on it as well. So we're looking forward to see what happens with it, man. Thank you so much for the call, bro.
Oh yeah, Ben. Talk to you later.
Yes, indeed. So Arizona Poker Pro, look, we've all had those opportunities where, you know, we're ready to go all in, and he's committed. It sounds very scary. Absolutely. It sounds very scary. But we've all been in those positions, right? Where we're committed. Look, he's in it. He's in it. By the sound of his voice, whatever happens, happens. So I'm wishing that it takes off and it hits $1 like he wants it to. All right. Yeah, somebody was asking me why it rings. Yeah, Skype did this thing where now you can't turn the ringer off. I don't know. It's really annoying. I don't know this new update, so it is what it is. It is what it is. What's going on, Rambo? I see Rambo in the building. Somebody was bringing up WTW, which is the Weight Watchers. What's going on with Weight Watchers? Bats, you said you went both ways on the trade. Obviously, it's been a big loser. You know, I don't know. You can't pump this with Oprah anymore, right? I mean, Oprah, don't get me wrong, she's still a multi-billion-dollar brand, but I don't know if she pulls it in like she used to. Obviously, if this is a stock that beats, this is going to be quite a squeeze. What were the numbers on it? Did they deliver yet or no? Oprah back, Weight Watchers tumbles on profit. Hold on. Did they deliver already? Oh, shit. Okay, down 30%. Oh, okay. Okay, so yeah, shit. You know, I guess they didn't do so good, huh? Down $30. Okay, but Bats, you said you went both ways, right? As long as you went both ways, then that's, you know, it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. Right? Sometimes that happens. Good Lord, that was a complete shitting, though. That was a complete shitting. You know. John Rambo, okay, you have no position. Okay, down 30%. Okay, what was that? Oh, all right. Yeah. What's going on, T. Kelly? Yeah, Fuzz D. Shout out to Fuzz or Fuse. All right. I called it Fuzz for so long until somebody finally told me what it was. But yeah, that's going to be a winner. That's going to be a winner. At least here in the short term. Continue to watch it, right? Continue to watch it. But I'm really proud of bringing that to you guys and what's happened. I try to bring winners to people, and I'm actually really glad how this turned out. It's kind of scared me a little bit because when I put out the video, we ran up and then we started getting a little bit sideways. But again, you know, 25.50. There's your support, and sure enough, breaking up and using that 50 RSI as an opportunity to, you know, reaffirm that people want to buy this stock, and now it's looking really good here, looking really good. But I mean, if you made some money on it, don't be afraid to take profits, right? I mean, because a lot of people get greedy, you know, at resistance levels, particularly if they're coming up from some low RSI levels, right? You know, they're coming up from 30, 35, and next thing you know, they're at 70, 71, and they're like, oh, should I sell? Should I sell? Dude, you're up 100%, 120%, and you're scraping for another 5, 6, or 7. And then you see $1,000 profit. The guy ends up taking profits and being left with 657, right? Because he wanted another, you know, $100. It's happened to the best of us. Let's take a look at some of you guys' other tickers. ADOM. 43-cent stock. All right, nice play. You know, coming out of the dirty areas. You know, finally in some positive territory after what looks like a very, very horrible end of 2018, beginning of 2019. So Hopefully that stays above that 50 RSI. And it kind of reminds me of another stock that I used to talk about a lot here, apps. Apps has just turned around. I mean, what a turnaround in apps, man. I mean, this is a stock that I hoped for a long time would finally get its act together. And, finally looks like it's able to do that. I mean, we were talking about apps in the 1s, 2s right here somewhere. I mean, it only took, 9 months for it to finally turn around. All right. That's what's up, Bats. Both going both ways, up 60%. Hey, Bats, are you still managing that Discord? Day in and day out? Okay, that's what's up. Yes, indeed. So let's take a look at what WTW or Straddle. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. I mean, where WTW is. I want to look at it one more time. Where WTW is. It makes, and the daily chart doesn't even do it real justice, because the weekly, there it is. Oh man, that's why when you see a very strong decline, that's where you get into those higher time frames, and you're here in this kind of area where you're getting what's called accumulation happening here. You've got a very low downside risk, a lot of upside opportunity. This is a great place to sell some puts here. You can sell puts. Get some income at these levels. You can also buy some calls. You got little downside risk there. Or if you got it like that, you can buy stocks. So, and maybe give yourself even, $2, $3, $4 of protection at the bottom. Obviously, earnings came out and it's down even further. But, this particular setup, it's great for someone who wants to go long. Obviously, again, the earnings number was horrible, but if we weren't delivering any kind of earnings or any kind of thing at this point, this would just be a pure technical. Hey, I'm looking for a bounce off the lows. And that'd be a great opportunity to do it at those levels. All right, but earnings is always dangerous to play. Because you're just making assessments of, hey, what have customers been thinking over the last 3 months, 4 months, or whatever it is, in their particular quarter. Does this brand still pull? Have they been able to maintain margins? Right? How much are they spending to earn a customer? Right? Have they been able to grow market share? It's a lot of questions you have to answer going into earnings. And because you don't have all the information, you've got to either, read articles or what a lot of people do, unfortunately, cheat, or, read previous earnings reports and seeing possible trends, right? Looking for possible trends. Right, but sometimes they don't always work either. I mean, look at what happened to Shopify. But Shopify, we talked about Shopify in the last episode. Shopify, delivered a slowdown and still was able to keep it going. Look at that. Shopify, this was Shopify earnings, delivered a horrible number, and you had guys step in and buy it all back. All right? So that could happen too. All right. Billy Blanks. We got Billy Blanks in the house. That's hilarious. Okay. That's, you said Discord still on. That's what's up, man. Yes, indeed. Absolutely, Bats. That's the thing. You don't really need to guess. Absolutely. Right. And again, those and the way you make money. And Bats, how long are you in them for? Is it just like a day kind of thing? I see straddles work best. With the more time you can put on them, and particularly if the stock is going to make a very strong move in either direction, that's where you really make your money on straddles. BAC, the financial space has just been, it's just been completely crooked, man. These financials, A lot of them delivered horrible, horrible news, and they're still running. I mean, fighting for their life, but they're still running. Again, cheap paper is cheap paper, and that's just basically where we are right now. All right. That's just basically where we are right now. Yeah, many of these banks should know, should be, $20, $30, $40 lower. Well, not Bank of America, but some of the other lower than where they are. But again, 1%, 2% money. Well, not even 2% money. We're at what, 1% money or something like that, right? That's going to keep stocks gassed up for a long time. Even companies that lose money. All right. Because they're always going to be able to find a lender when cheap money is the name of the game. GRCU. What is this? OTC stock. Let's just keep the chart clear for a little bit now until we see something else. Man, this thing is all over the place. Some wide swings here, right? Obviously, if you get it on the lows. But again, decent volume. Decent volume. What's going on, Stockerfella? Okay, 3.8. Oh wow. Okay, not that. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Again, again, the only reason you hold a position like that with a close expiration like that is because you knew there was going to be a big move to either side. So that makes sense for that trade. Makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense. All right. Yeah, man, it's a lot of, this is just, it's doing a lot of crazy moves right here. All right. Somebody show me an OTC stock that's like, we're not out the bubble yet. You know what I mean? Like we're still in a phase where we can grab some. Somebody show me that. Something with some decent volume. RGSE looks nice. All right, decent volume. Obviously, it's got to pick up some slack here. I don't have volume on the board right now, but it's got to pick itself up there. Got to pick itself up here. Love to see kind of a rising RSI. All right, let's see. SSFT. John Rambo's talking about. Oh, not that one. SSFT, OTC. Okay, yeah, we kind of missed the boat on that one too. I mean, right? Look at that. We're up 100%. Hey, look, and when I say that, doesn't mean it can't continue to go higher, right? I mean, if you, oh, wow, even on, yeah, we're even extended here on the weeklies. Obviously, it's been running for almost 2 weeks now. Or just last, actually a week and a couple days. Okay. That's what's up, Crazy Keeper. Yeah, about to hit a little resistance there. I saw that as well, Jeffrey. VKTX. Appreciate you, I am. Oh. So, John, you think this can go more? First alerted SSF at 5 cents a year ago. Okay, hold on. Let me stop doing that. Okay, so it's at all-time highs right now. Yeah, all-time highs right now. Again, this is a monthly chart. Obviously, requires shitload of patience, but ka-ching to the guys who are that patient. Arizona Poker Pro. Was that TTNP? What is TTNP? I didn't see TTNP in a minute, but shout out to the guys who are doing that. Yeah, TTNP was a monster last year, dude. Going into the holidays, this thing was a monster. Yeah, it doesn't do a good job of staying up there, but looks like it's fighting now. All right, let's see if it can lift itself up here. All right, big sell-off yesterday. Blue sky breakout. Yeah, obviously, I mean, you know, you got to, I don't know what the underlying story is. There could be a lot more news coming back or coming into the trade when we talk about some of these OTC stocks, right? I mean, you're going to see a lot of that where we can put the ticker on and, you know, they're not pretty charts, right? It's not a pretty chart, but if you know there's another deal coming through the back in the pipeline, there's more news in the pipeline, that changes things for the future, right? That changes things for the future. All right. So that's SFFT. All right. Absolutely. There's Big Zini in his charts, his favorite moving averages. All right. Absolutely. All right. Let's get some more money into this thing, too. Let's get some more money into this thing. Again, this is just the beginning. You know, we know that these stocks can pull back a little bit and then keep going higher. We saw it with TREP. We saw it with SHMP, right? And we saw it with SHMP. We had a guy lose. What was that guy who lost like $12,000 on SHMP buying at the top there? Go look that up on Twitter. He posted like I don't know if he was just playing or was that a dummy account or what. That was a horrible, sad post. Buying too high like that. But again, you know, they do something like this, right? Because we know stocks can, you know, go high, hit those high RSI levels and keep going. And keep going. Let's see here. GHHC. GHHC. Well, tell me why, HM, before you go to bed. Post in why. Partnership with Walgreens on TTNP. Yeah, A Ranger. We were all over TREP, man. We were all over TREP. Remember, Rich, we had a whole show on TREP. I interviewed Rich Million on TREP, and we posted a show about it. We were all over TREP for about 115% gains. All right. We were all over TREP. All right. So if this is if you're talking about a second run at things, good luck. Good luck, because it can definitely do it. Yes, sir, John Rambo, same number. It can definitely do it. What's going on, Daniel Harris? He said he lost 12,000 with 13,000 left. Hilarious. All right. I see guys still got the love for OTCs. Shit. Jason, SNLN. What is SL? Is that what you put in? SNLN? What is that? Yeah, you're going to have to explain what that is, bro. Never seen that in my life. MXMG. Let's take a look. Here's the ticker MXMG. All right, getting off the floor here. Getting some volume coming in. All right, getting some volume coming in. Let me, because you guys are putting up some. Make sure we're actually dealing with some stocks that actually have some people looking at them. All right, yeah, it's not finally, okay, so it's finally getting some people looking at it. We'll see what happens here as more liquidity starts coming into the play. Yeah, OTC's been heating up. I mean, it's been heating up since November. It's been heating up since November. We had some really great plays in January. Really great plays in January where they were very consistent. And, of course, you had the Sears situation. So January was a really good month for OTCs. And that followed into the beginning of this month as well, too. beginning of this month as well too. Yeah, I'm hoping cannabis can really move the needle here on 2019 because we had a congressman, Bob Menendez of New Jersey. He actually asked the Fed chair today about cannabis companies and having access to capital through banks. And banks right now don't want to touch marijuana companies because we have a federal law that hasn't caught up to state law. So we've got a lot of companies right now that can't get the financing they need to grow, to really develop a business, a sound business, because the federal laws haven't caught up. And let me tell you one thing right now, once that gets solved, some of these MJ companies are going to soar. They're going to soar once they can finally get their hands on legitimate capital instead of going to these private investors. All right. So for those of you guys who are holding on to some of these OTC plays, keep holding on to them. Some of these stocks that trade on even the larger exchanges, hold on to them, because that's a huge catalyst for growth moving forward. Is again that legitimization of cannabis through the financials. All right, because you do have a lot of capital sitting on the sidelines right now that would be in play for cannabis if we would just again get that straightened out. Getting that straightened out. Oh, Night Food is on the move? That's hilarious. Shout out to Night Food and GTF. Yeah, shout out to Night Food. I put that ticker out there months ago, maybe over a year ago now. Finally taken off. Good Lord. Yeah, I put that out there almost a year ago. Finally taken off. Night Food. Yes, indeed. BOTY to the toilet, hilarious. BOTY. What are they doing right now? Okay, so a lot of paper out there on BOTY. Yeah, Crone is going to be. I mean, Crone has been a killer, man, and that Crone. Everybody who's been in Crone deserves it because this is again probably the most. I wouldn't say the most legit MJ play out there, but one of them. That's really for sure. One of them. One of them. One of them. All right. Let me take a look at that one more time, man. What do you guys like about booty, though? God damn, I hate that sound, man. 250, what's up?
Hey, what up, Sal? It's John Rambo.
Hey, John, what's going on?
Hey, chilling, man. It's it's good to see you back on here. I really miss those times, man, where like every single night after the market, we're looking at your pretty face and doing the damn thing, right?
Yeah, that's what's up, man. But money starts coming in, you start enjoying some other things, But hey, I'm on the show now. What do you got for us?
Oh, bro, I hear that. Well, the OTC is heating up like crazy. And, I think I know why. Well, part of the reason anyways is all the restrictions that went on to companies like Vandom and all the other big diluters. Mm-hmm. Like, they can only sell, like, something like 10% of the daily volume. So they can't just sit and put a huge Great Wall of China stopping runs now. So that's why you're seeing, like, companies like SHMP, which is a gross fucking farm shrimp company, run from half a cent to fucking 95 cents over the matter of a month,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then you got these Twitter gangs just absolutely going ballistic, all these basically bots just, pumping shells, right? Like, it's crazy, man. It's as dirty as ever, but now it's just getting super lucrative.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, some of these pump websites are coming back, but it is what it is right now. I mean, guys, again, I talked about at the beginning of the show about guys having a hard time finding value. They're uncertain about where the larger exchange and some of these tickers are going. So there's a great opportunity for OTC markets here because you know where these companies are at. They're very easy to identify what's legit, what's not. And guys are finding an opportunity to say, hey, let's trade these in the meantime.
Yo, I totally agree. And I think a large portion of it as well is a lot of money flowing in from people getting out of cryptocurrency and even the big boards, because people are starting to get a little bit shaky on big boards. They're like, hey, what's going to happen with the economy, you know? Right.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. But, hey, I just wanted to touch on that SSFT, the Sonasoft ticker. You know, it's funny because I was just talking with my boy the other day when Sonasoft started running. And I was like, yo, do you remember when I brought that up? Because I was on your show, and I phoned in, and I was like, I'm banging the table on this. I was fucking just pumping it so hard. But, man, with me, and you know, I've shared this with you, but we haven't spoken in a while, you know. But, you know, I'm happy to put, like, a couple bucks in these, you know, random shell plays, like your SHMP, LCTZ, LFAP, like all these runners. Like, I'll throw a G in there, here and there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But, like, my main way that I make money in the markets is I search, like, diligently. Like, I'm literally researching, reading fucking filings, SOS, all this shit all damn day, you know?
Absolutely.
And maybe twice a year, I find a stock and I'm like, wow, this company is legit and it's trading at like a fraction of its actual value. And it has future potential, you know?
Now tell me, what does this company do? What do they do?
So Sonasoft, these guys started operating business in like the year 2000. It's a tech company. They started off doing like email migrations and stuff for corporations, which is kind of above my head. I mean, you know, I'm a trader, but I started learning a little bit about the technology when I, you know, got into the stock and I started researching. But they're doing big numbers with big names. Like, they work with people like Microsoft, NVIDIA, like all these sorts of companies, you know?
Gotcha.
But the past year is when things really started to change. So, like, they got into AI, which is, you know, people are projecting to be like a $3 trillion industry by 2022. And this company just started executing. So early in the year of 2018, they announced that they're going to acquire this other tech company based in Silicon Valley called Cornerstone Technologies. That company does $13 million a year estimated, where Sonasoft prior to that only did like $500,000 in revenue.
Okay.
And since acquiring that company, they haven't released like the financials that reflect that, and those are expected in March. So I think a lot of this buying that's coming in right now is in preparation or anticipation for those numbers coming out. Because when that company puts out, like, hey, here's our year-end 2018 numbers, it's fucking $12 million, up 3,000% from 2017. I mean, that's a pretty hot news item, yeah?
Absolutely. So we'll take a look at it.
Yeah.
I mean, we put it out there now, guy. A lot of guys watch the show and they're going to spread the word. So I you know, I don't want to come off like I'm pumping it, but obviously we put out and listening to you, we've got about a 60-day time frame to see what happens here. So now that it's out there, let's have the chart speak for itself, man.
Yo, it's out there, and I don't want to come across as pumping it either, man. I'm just spreading the word, you know? People got to do what they want to do, and they got to do their own research. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a fucking, you know, mental case, degenerate, alcoholic, pothead, just fucking playing stocks and getting rich. So.
There we go, man. Appreciate you, Rambo. Thanks for the call, man.
All right, peace. Keep up the good work.
All right, thanks a lot. Oh, man. Appreciate you, John Hill, for the play. We're going to take a look. I got a lot of tickers to catch up on here. I see a lot of guys put up the play. All right. DGLD is the ticker. It's not doubt. It's that one. Is it that one? What the hell is this? Credit Suisse Nassau tracker. You're going to have to explain. I know what GLD is. I know what XAU is. What is this? A mix of both? You're going to have to let me know, John Hill. Not the best ETF trader myself. So you're going to have to let me know. I know the big ones. All right. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, though, Big Zini. You're going to always have, the guys who are just going to be in the OTCs, right? I mean, they just going to be in there because, again, at the end of the day, that kind of, the cost dollar multiplier of OTCs is just at the end of the day, it's so lucrative if you get it right. All right, if you get it right, one play can make up 10 losses. It's just hard to find that one a lot of times, especially if you're not in the know. All right, especially if you're not in the know. Oh, so John Hill, okay, it's a mix. Okay, it's a gold. It's an inverse. Oh, okay, all right. So it's like playing like dust or something, right? Isn't that? It's like playing dust. You might as well just play dust, which is more, basically the same chart, but you got more volume. So why not just play dust? Or you just maybe we just want the underlying commodity. But I mean, I get what you're saying, though. I get what you're saying. But again, you probably want to look for tighter spread so you make sure you're getting, the better price. Gold is about to dump. Say this stock will rocket. Absolutely, absolutely. All right. Yeah, gold's been doing really well. So, I mean, what makes you say that though? I mean, we've got a lot of macroeconomic risk out there right now. Saying gold will dump, I'm actually kind of surprised to hear that conclusion right now going on with everything that's on. What's going on, David? David talked about Wayfair. This is really interesting, and I'm actually holding the April 5th 150s on Wayfair. This is just tired. It's tired up here. But again, you had some guys who were short. You had some guys getting squeezed. And it is what it is right now. You just have to put some time on these options. You can sell those 170s up there, right? You can sell the 170s. Hell, sell 165 if you want to. But again, just know in the short term, this is what it's going to do right now. But this is not, this company, I think we're up like 58% over 30 days or something like this, something ridiculous like that. So it's going to give it back. It's just you're going to have to make sure you put some time on it because a week or two is just not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough. So it's going to give some back. You're just going to have to be able to hang in there. You're just going to have to hang in there. And that number wasn't that impressive. The company just basically narrowed their losses. But again, FOMO, squeezes, it is what it is. All right, but again, just look at the EA chart. Look at a lot of these stocks that squeeze. Eventually, they're going to give some of that back. So, but again, I'm in the April 5th 150 right here, right? April 5th 150. I'm in at 162s. And just looking for a couple dollars. In fact, maybe 158, 159. It'd be a nice little return for me. All right. Yeah, I don't see gold dumping either. I mean, we're a little bit sideways, but I'm very, very bullish on commodities in 2019. Very bullish. They're going to absolutely, Big Z. They're going to continue to perform. Hang tight, man. I think by December, you're going to be able to look at some of these small caps or mid caps or these ETFs for the miners, right? Like a JNUG. We could be very well seeing a $20 JNUG by December. You know, I'm already watching this chart. Look at that. It looks very, very healthy. We're going to continue to, in my opinion, be in this range and go higher. We got a lot of, risk out there. Got a lot of risk out there. We got an economy that's slowing, global economy that's slowing. We got an economy here in our country that's slowing. It's a great opportunity. But again, at the end of the day, we do have a lot of banks that play with controlling the price of gold. Gold is undervalued as it is now. Right? It's undervalued now. And when gold really takes off, some of these OTC gold plays are going to run too. All right? Because some of these OTC plays, they are sitting on very valuable properties. If you go back, and guys who've been trading OTCs for a very long time, they will tell you what was a really big thing from like 2012, 2014, were these mineral rights, right? The mineral rights that a lot of these OTC companies would, say, hey, we own rights to this and this property, and they would sell to some of the larger companies for a couple $1 million. All right, and you do have some OTC companies that are basically shells, but they own very valuable mineral rights of former profitable mines. They're out there. They're out there. All right. But again, what John Rambo just talked about, you're going to have to do the digging. You have to do the reading. All right. Because by the time the guys bring it up to you, to your attention, they've already loaded up. Super League Gaming. What the hell is that? Super League Gaming. Look, they just went public today. Esports company Super League Gaming. Share slide 20% trading debut. Hilarious. Hilarious, bro. Did they just go straight down? Jesus. Wow, 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 wow. That's unfortunate, man.
Ultra kill.
That's really that sucks. To take your company public at 1160 and you literally had 5 minutes. You literally had 5 minutes and the stock just sold off. That's hilarious. G-Dot is on its way down. What I'm trying to figure out is if where we are right now, are we going higher on some of these larger exchanges? Is SPY going to continue to go higher? Is Bat still in here? I'm curious on his take on SPY and stuff like that. G-Dot, 5 minutes. Green Dot Financial. What's going on with Green Dot? Obviously, I can see here stocks lost quite a bit of value. What is this, about 30%? What's going on with the prepaid cards? I thought their margins were huge on that kind of crap. Good Lord, I thought the returns were huge on that business, right? Dealing with the unbankable, quote unquote unbankable. What's your take on SPY, Bats? Are we going to 3,000? I know that's what they want. But I don't know if he's got enough time to get there, because things are really getting bad out here. Things are really getting bad out here. All right. The data's coming in and it's not looking good. It's gotten to a point, if you watch CNBC now, CNBC used to be so excited to let you know the new numbers or something. Now the numbers come out, they talk about it for like 2 minutes and they're on to something else. Particularly like a week ago when the retail numbers came out, it was hilarious. Worst retail sales in since 2009 or something like that. Man, they discussed that for like 10 minutes and then never talked about it again. And we're still waiting to see you know, XRT start giving it up too. Here's another situation here. I'm waiting on XRT. You know, that's a situation in itself. 3 million with PDD. Okay. Yeah, man. I'm very bullish on gold. You know, those of you guys who have been following me on Twitter, you know that. You know, those leveraged ETFs are gonna, those returns are gonna be amazing. On some of those leveraged ETFs, like the J-Nugs, you know, those returns are gonna be amazing. All right. Yep. About to bust out of some 2-year resistance levels on gold. All right. Not to spend too much time on it, but you know, again, very, 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 very healthy looking charts on a lot of these things. You know, you're busting out some very, very healthy resistance levels, going back almost, you know, actually longer than that, almost 5 years. All right, let's get back to some of these. I mean, very, very healthy. You know, this is GLD, and by the way, this is, you know, you're gonna see that on JNUG. You're gonna see that on a lot of these gold stocks, or gold ETFs rather, where they're gonna be looking really, really healthy. The channels are really looking nice. Again, we're pulling back from some of these high RSI levels, but we're holding positive territory. So we'll see. Yeah. You know what? But I don't want to take too hard of a contrarian view, although that's my natural nature when it comes to the exchange. It comes to trading in general, just because I know this, you know, our money is losing value day in and day out. But you know, I just feel like this U.S.-China thing is so baked in, man. Is this deal not baked in by now? I mean, honestly, what could we see out of U.S.-China out of this situation that makes us go to 3,000? Why is it not baked in? If the cost, if it's going to end up costing China more to do business with us. All right. How does it help U.S. firms make more money if their costs go higher? You know, I'm a little confused on that, man. Absolutely. I feel like that's all they got. I mean, think about it. If that's not on the table, what's the reason for 3,000? We've had, this is one of the worst earnings seasons in maybe the last 3 or 4. Go look. JP Morgan missed. Citigroup missed. We just had Home Depot miss. You know, these reports haven't been, and then of course they're telling you for the rest of the year they're not going to put up the same kind of numbers that they did 2017, 2018. You know, these people don't care, man. They're going to destroy this country. They're going to, you know, they could care less. And every dip gets bought up by the morning, bro. Every dip gets bought up by the morning. I mean, we can't have a 100-point down day. You know. That's why I can't short the SPY while it continues to sit above the 10 moving average. I can't do that. You know, look at the 10 moving average here. I can't touch this thing, man. What is this? This is like we developed a cure for cancer. That's what that looks like. You know. Yeah, and that's why gold is super bullish, man. Again, that's why gold is super bullish. All right, but let's take a look at what you guys are doing. I'm loving talking about these larger stocks just because I'm looking for income every day. But for those of you guys, Pledge Petroleum, yeah, oil and gas has been really beat up for a while here, but it's coming back. I did see we're back in the 50s on crude, so things are turning up a little bit on crude. Interesting stocks to trade there, and again, you can go do that Ricky Gutierrez kind of he just D-gas and U-gas, right? And just kind of going back and forth on those two. You know, using that leveraged ETF to make trades and make money because he's developed a pretty interesting system to kind of go back and forth on those. And then you have guys who do, specialize in the leveraged ETFs and just kind of stick with that. You know, strategy is a strategy, no matter where, no matter what it is, as long as it works for you. Yeah, that Bob Kraft situation was so embarrassing, man. Dude, you're a freaking billionaire. You can have any damn hot chick you want, and you're going to a freaking corner store like massage parlor. What the fuck? I don't even want it because it just disappoints me to see like how does somebody how does somebody who thinks like that gets put in the opportunity to be a billionaire? You can get practically any woman you want, and you're getting $50 rub downs, bro. What the fuck? You're getting your nuts rubbed in by Hung Wang, you know, Hung Wang's wife from like China, who's here on like a slave visa, or if she even has any. I mean, like, who does that? You're a billionaire, dude. This is crazy, man. That's just crazy. You know? Yeah, getting tickled for $40. He probably didn't even pay that much, dude. There's some pictures where they show it's like a hole in a wall type of spot, man. Like somewhere a billionaire is just not going to be. It's like it's, you know, yeah, he's rubbing tugs. You know, it's crazy, man. You own an NFL football team, one of the most valuable pieces of property, you know, in business. All right. So lucrative. Winning organization at that. And you're out here, you know, oh man, that's just really just low. Low. But he's rich. I doubt he does any. I doubt he sees a jail cell. What was that PDD? I doubt he sees a jail cell. He's rich. You know, somebody's going to get paid off and they're going to make it happen. Or he's going to hire the local big shot and they're going to call in a favor. Which is better, Fox Business? Somebody said about R. Kelly. R. Kelly is horrible, man. That's a horrible situation, that R. Kelly situation. You know, he should have been locked up a long time ago, man. That guy's a monster if everything that people are saying about him is true. Fox Business or CNBC? Man, CNBC, I just hate David. What's that old guy in the morning on CNBC? I don't like him. Outside of that, CNBC is okay. But that old guy in the morning, like, he should be gone a long time ago. David Gergen, or whatever his name is, he should be gone a long time ago, man. You know, some of these people on CNBC, you've been there since Netflix was like $30 a share. You should be gone, dude. I don't know if they're in a situation where they're not allowed to trade, then I understand. But, you know, you've been on CNBC 20 years, 25 years, and you still pitching, bro? And I'm going to kill myself. You know. You've seen stocks 1,000, 2,000, 3,000%. Real companies. I'm not talking OT. I'm talking real companies. You know, you watched Amazon go, you know, from high flyer damn near to zero to where it is now. Appreciate you, John Rambo. He said lobster and shrimp in his jail cell. You ain't going to see no jail cell, bro. He's not going to see a single jail cell. Man, you could, that kind of money, you got enough money to fly Asian girls in. You know, you got enough money. Bro, give me $500,000. I'll go get Chung Wang and Hong Hong Lee. I'll learn Chinese and bring you some hoes, bro. For $500,000. You know? Nigga, I'll learn that shit next week. Let's keep it going. Let's see. What else? What else are you guys looking at? Yeah, well, oil stock. Well, oil stocks have already made a comeback, right? I mean, we've already. You know, I kind of hinted that a little bit. I'm not a big oil guy, but all right. So we bounced off the lows, right? We bounced off. That's WTI. No, this is the. That's not. Where's the ETF though? I know it's USO, but there's a more. Yeah, it's recovering. It's just not there yet, but it's recovering. It's recovering, right? I think there's a more lucrative ETF. There's a leveraged ETF for crude. That's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't remember it right now. He said he is 77. Yeah, but still, dude, at 77, you've been a billionaire for a long time. I mean, he's not new money. He's not new money. He's been rich for a very long time. And I know his wife passed away, right? I think his wife passed away in 2012, but that's no excuse. He's got like a 36-year-old girlfriend. 0003 LVXI. All right. Yeah, you gotta pick up some of this volume here that's sitting on the floor here. So get some volume in here, pick up some of that paper, and you know, maybe things in this stock can start to take off. Is it UWT? Oh no, that's it. That's yeah, okay, there it is. Yeah, this is the leveraged ETF in crude. Yeah, this is something you'd pick up off the floor here. I mean, if you're a believer in what's going on. Again, you got to have, you know, obviously it's getting up there. It's getting up there. Here's the weekly. You know, you had a horrible October into December, bro. I mean, horrible 2 months there. Obviously, it's very lucrative if you're on the put side of that or the short side. Very, very lucrative. Yeah. I mean, they've all been, you know, a lot of these banks work together to manipulate the price of commodities, right? I mean, obviously because they use commodities to hedge their investments. I mean, they use gold to hedge. Central banks use gold to hedge their investments because if they ever need, in case of an emergency, they turn their gold and silver into cash. Particularly when you're talking about foreign central banks, because most of their money is dollar. Most of their debt, rather, is dollar denominated. So the only way to hedge is not their own currency, but commodities, gold. All right. That's why you always see the Indian government, India, you know, their central bank buys a ton of gold. Russia does as well. South Africa, I mean, a lot of these, you know, Venezuela, a lot of them. I mean, if you're a third world country, right, printing that fiat paper, that like they all do, that's the only way to be able to prevent a huge crisis, is to have some gold laying around. Jeff Byers said, just don't hold that stuff overnight. Yeah, of course. I mean, these leveraged ETFs will kill you if things don't go in the right direction. You guys remember that that group we talked about that lost 77 million overnight on when natural gas went crazy one night. All right. WTI has earnings tomorrow. That's an interesting, small cap stock. Could do something. Could very well do something. Yeah, the market is very sideways right now, man. I mean, you know, what looks like a lot of opportunity isn't. What looks like a lot of opportunities, there really isn't. There really isn't. You know, because things can, you know, you're looking at the stock, you know, you're looking at some of these exchanges, you're like, okay, there's some weakness here. You know, you go in and next thing you know, the Trump administration announces something and, you know, you're 3, 4, 5% underwater. Just like that. You know, just like that. You know, buying the dip right now has been a winning play for a very, very long time. For a very long time. I mean, almost 5 weeks straight here. If you're looking at, you know, the SPY and many other stocks, whatever dip has been available to you, you know, well more than 5 weeks now. But you know, you had a couple sideways here and there, but for the most part, you've been a winner. You've been a winner. All right. Yeah, $77 million was gone. That fund, I posted it on my Twitter, Got Penny Stocks. The video's up there. I forgot what their name, what the name of that fund was. It's on there. But they lost about 77 million overnight. It was gone. And this guy makes a video. He makes a 13-minute video wearing a Rolex, fake crying that all the money is gone. It was hilarious. Still on YouTube right now. Defense stock, Lockheed, Boeing, you know, those have been looking good too. All-time highs right now on Boeing. You know, again, boy, cheap money. Cheap money is the name of the game right now, man. Damn, $426 a share and still trading at 23 times earnings. How much money do they make? Shout out to Boeing. Oh, that's a whole different, you know, that's a whole new show. That's a whole new show. All right, I know I started late, so I'm going to get you guys out of here in just a bit, but I just kind of wanted to talk with you guys and seeing what's out there right now. You know, obviously the OTCs are always going to be doing their own thing. But market-wide right now, I mean, we've just got a lot of very expensive stocks right now. A lot of guys are long. Everybody's long. I don't know why I don't feel good about this. I don't know why I don't feel good about, you know, entering a long position here. You know, because I just feel like this China deal, again, is just not enough. And I hope I get proven right. Said anyone who can lose 77 million overnight. Yeah, it was a fund. I mean, the whole fund lost $77 million, and they closed the fund because they got a margin call. And was it on? It was on. What was like N-Gas or something like that. It was something. Yeah, it was on something gas. On natural gas. Was it Nat? God, let me find it because now it's gonna piss me off if I don't. What was that? Was it UNG? It was a huge spike in it. Yes, I think it was. Yep, there we go. A couple weeks ago, there it is. They had some bets. Maybe not this particular one, but you know, natural gas had a huge spike, and I don't know what happened if they were, but somehow, some way, they just got caught slipping, and the fund got assigned, and 77 million was gone. Are you? Nah, I'm in right now. Just what makes sense, man. I mean, just what's making real sense right now. Gold is making a lot of sense right now. OTC stocks makes a lot of sense right now. You know, you just have a lot of things right now that are just, you know, nobody wants to lose money. You know, it's good. It's all good until it's not good. How's long GT? Yeah, cannabis is a hot sector too. Right. I got some SRNA, but it needs to start doing something. Shit. Good Lord. I got some SRNA right now. And again, this company developed awesome numbers. 270% return. Quarter over quarter. Not even year over year, quarter over quarter. Incredible returns. We got a new CEO in there. Man, but you know, hopefully things take off here on SRNA soon. All right, because I'm looking for a nice run back to 22 cents, 25, maybe 30, who knows, high. But great business. I mean, business that generates some real returns. Great list of clients. But again, this is another company that again, because they're in that space, they have a hard time getting capital from the right people at the right price, and it's hurting their ability to really expand. So hopefully things change. Oh man, Peter Schiff hasn't been right in a long time. I mean, I like Peter Schiff to listen to his stuff, but you know, Peter Schiff is biased because he sells gold. But he's got a lot of great things to say. He's got some really interesting things that he talks about. But, you know, I wouldn't take any investment advice from Peter Schiff. I mean, this guy must have like a 50-year, timetable because, good Lord, I mean, you know, if you've been listening to Peter Schiff over the last 10 years, you've been getting killed. I mean, every account you've had is blown up because this guy talks as if, you know, the world's going to hell tomorrow, and it never happens. Yeah, I said BZini, you said SRNA. Yeah, I mean, the dilution, has been hurting the stock, but we'll see. I'm giving it a couple more months. And that's exactly what he did, John Rambo. Got off his ass and moved to Puerto Rico. You know, but he's got a nice little channel that he puts out regular content on. That's cool. All right. Somebody give me a large cap that's doing something right now, that you're in right now making good money. Not commodity based. Maybe something like consumer goods. Anybody got anything like that that's interesting? You know. Let me get out of the weeklies. Yeah, Coca-Cola. I saw Coca-Cola. Yeah, Coca-Cola's been interesting because this is, it's been it's a very ugly stock, very ugly chart in general for such an established company. But, people have been talking about for years that people are getting off sugar and all that, but they've been able to do a really good job of mixing up their product offerings. All right, Roku. Yeah, Roku was a beast. I did see that Roku number. That, man, every time Roku, you count them out, right? Because you're thinking like, okay, these boxes and all that. I mean, they just figure out a way to win. They figure out a way to win. They'll crush the shorts. When you just think they're dead, they just come back alive, man. I learned a long time ago not to mess with Roku, Those stupid boxes make money. AMD, all right. Yeah, I don't think I ever pulled up your Erie, did I? Good Lord, what is this? Insurance, okay. Nice play on that. I mean, I don't know too much about them. Don't know too much about them. Nice chart though. AMD had a decent earnings report. It looks like it's struggling with the 25s. Looks like we're struggling with the 25s. AMD was 2018 was supposed to be AMD's year. I mean, obviously they were able to kind of get out the single digits, but people were talking AMD possibly getting to the 50s. It just never could get up to that level. I think Bats, you were even in it at one time, or at least talked about it at one time. Bed Bath & Beyond, okay. 1 million that could drop 20% by next earnings. Yeesh. Bed Bath & Beyond, okay. Okay. Consumer cyclical, yep. These are great. These are great stocks to buy or to sell during a recession because people just don't have the disposable income to really kind of spoil themselves and to treat themselves to what's called non-essentials. So these are great. I mean, obviously this is already been doing a pretty poor job, but this would be an interesting sell back underneath, this moving average. Obviously, guys are using the 50 or something else, but my favorite is the 25. Absolutely, I've seen the movie Wall Street. It's a little dated now, but like when I first got into investing and stuff like that, I knew every word of that movie. But now when I watch the movie Wall Street, I can't. It's just so dated in terms of the clothing and all that stuff. Yeah, I mean, look, they got a great product, Kelly. They got a great product. Yeah, Roku bit me on the ass. Because you always remember your losses, right? The ones that really mattered anyway. The ones that really matter. And Roku was a very interesting one. I remember just like yesterday, I was selling an out of the money put, which I wouldn't, I would never do an out of the money put with less than 7 days. And that's what I did. It was an out of the money put. I had 7 days on it and the stock would not fucking give, bro. It would not fucking give. And I went in there 10 G's deep and I gave 3,800 back to the street, man. Oh God. You want to talk about pissed? You want to talk about pissed, man. And 3,800 and like it was really like a day and a half because those out of the money calls were just, that time value was just eating the shit out of me, bro. I never did that, anything like that again. You know, now if I'm going way out of the money, then I'm putting a shitload of time on it. You know, but that's 7 days left, 2 days left, and out of the money. Oh, hell no. Those days have came and went. All right, bats with the GT $19 calls. Okay, made 68%. Okay, nice, nice. All right. Yeah, I'm still selling premium for the most part, just collecting a weekly income and things like that. I was selling the 105s on EA. I sold 103s on Walmart. You know, again, these low volatility, when you reach these low volatility stocks, then when they reach resistance levels, you can sell, you know, those calls on top there, the week out, 2 weeks out, and make some pretty good money. All right, I'm also in Wayfair. I'm in Wayfair right now, but that's a directional. All directional. Absolutely, man. The best lessons are learned. Absolutely. When trading, the best lessons are truly learned the hard way, man. You can't. I've watched, I mean, you name it, the video, you name it. Until you actually go out there and lose your ass, that's really the only way you're going to learn this. And you're still figuring it out. Yeah, guys who've got 30 years in the business still learning it. Still figuring it out. Bed Bath & Beyond is a good one. Oh, yeah, that's a good trade, actually. That's a really good trade. Which is... What's Best Buy's ticker? I know Best Buy. What's Best Buy's ticker? Okay, BBY. Yeah, I thought it was like close to Bed Bath & Beyond, right? Okay. All right. Best Buy. Yeah, Best Buy is another one that, you know, when the market started selling off, you know how when there was just everything was on the table. I mean, there was just so much money to be made across several different stocks. But of course, I just went for the weak hands, the Grubhubs of the world, the SQs of the world, the ones that were just kind of trading at ridiculous PEs. But you know, Best Buy was one that I consider a missed opportunity too, because I mean, yeah, you went from 80. I mean, you gave almost 50% back. 50%, that was insane. You know. $40,000 in September last year, lost it all in one trade in October when it sold off, learned many. Yeah, Bats, that's what, you know, it's so interesting, Bats, because that's completely opposite to me. I was a loser for most of last year because, again, I'm so damn short bias that I didn't start winning until the end of the year, when all of a sudden, oh shit, you know, I ain't never seen that much green come in back to back to back to back, you know, like that. I mean, every put was just slapping. You know, you'd buy $2, you know, in the money, $4 in the money, and that shit would just double same day, sometimes the very next day. You know, killing SQ, man. You know, killing SQ. Just couldn't get enough of Square. You know, couldn't get enough of Grub, you know, couldn't get enough of these plays, man. You know, bro, I was moving money from other accounts. You know when you just like I just, you know, what do you mean it's going to take 4 days to clear? Can you put in the money in the account now? You know, well, you're going to have to send a wire. Well, the bank, I mean, shit. It's you know, it's $350. I don't have enough time. You know, can we just do it now? You know, because I knew you'd open up lower the next day. Well, I didn't know if the world was going to hell or what. Yeah, I think SQ earnings is around the corner here somewhere. I think they'll deliver, though. I think they'll deliver. Again, these are companies that lose money. Grub, Square. I love these companies that lose money. And when things turn around, when money gets expensive, credit gets tight, then that's when they really sell off because they live on debt. These are highly leveraged companies that are just they take on a lot of toxic debt to satisfy their obligations, right? To pay their employees because they're running on losses. All right. They have little to no PEs. If they have a PE, it's negative, or in case of Grubhub, it's trading at 95 times earnings. They spend incredible amounts of money to get their customers. You know. He said, sounds like an addiction. Oh, I mean, anybody who says they're not addicted to this is lying to you. If you're not addicted to trading, and when I say addicted, I mean in a healthy way. I mean, there's addictive and negative way where you just, throwing money at the board. But I think there's someone who can be passionate. Yeah, there we go. Let's just use that word, passionate. Yeah, reading books on the stock market is helpful. You got to be careful because sometimes it can get redundant too. It can get redundant sometimes on the reading. So you just got to make sure the guy you're reading, he's actually putting out some new content, something you haven't really thought of before. Yeah. I'm waiting for the recession, bro. They said it's either going to be this year or next year. I'm waiting for the recession, man. I'm waiting for the recession. Just tell me where the high is going to be. That's why I can't short right now. Just tell me where the high is going to be, man. So I can buy my I can put my position in now. Well, not now, but because they want 3,000, man. They want 3,000 so bad. You watch Fox Business, CNBC, they want 3,000 so bad. Their mouth is just literally watering the way they talk about all-time highs, man. You just want to wipe their mouth. These people are so disgusting. Have we told you student loans at $1 trillion? U.S. government deficit at $22 trillion. The stock market more valuable than the country's entire GDP. People are just disgusting, man. Like Jim Cramer is a nasty individual, man. Jim Cramer is such a nasty man. This guy was telling people not to sell Apple when it was cratering. You guys remember that? He was telling people not to sell Apple and stuff. This guy's you're a nasty dude, man. And that $85 billion bet that Warren Buffett took on Apple, man, I just feel sorry for Warren because I don't even think that was his trade. I made a tweet about that. I don't even think that was his trade, but the buck stops with him, so he's got to play, you know, like he was in it. But I don't even think that was him. Yeah, give me the recession, bro. I can't wait to. I'm looking, you know, I can't wait to find some of these beautiful homes outside the city on foreclosure. You know, because we got a lot of guys who are working at a startup somewhere that's going to close down when the money dries up. Buffett wouldn't be success if he started the day. Oh, hell no. No. Buffett is just, again, you know, having the right genes, the right background, and at the right, he was just born at the right time, man. You know, just born at the right time. And then having a father who was a broker too. That helps. That helps. And have some political connections to get you into the kind of school where you can be able to be taught by a man of the caliber of Benjamin Graham. You know, come on. That's insane, bro. That's like a once in a lifetime opportunity. Recession after next presidential election. I think it actually goes into the presidential election. I think things get worse as we get into the next presidential election. But this isn't it's you know, but he can still hang on. I think Trump still hangs on because the Democrats can't come up with a candidate. They've got a weak, very weak field right now. You know, obviously, if Obama's if he comes out, that changes things a little bit. Yeah, Jesse Livermore. Yeah, very interesting story. Sad ending though, in Jesse Livermore. Very sad ending. Walmart going to be the challenger to Amazon? I don't know, man. You know, that Jet.com acquisition has just played out so right for them. Their .com strategy at Walmart has just done so well. Their pickup and delivery thing has been working so well for them. They keep although they raised wages, I think it was about $2 this year, but you know, overall they're still making a shitload of money. And this recent earnings report, it showed stable growth. You know, although people sold on the news because we were kind of up there, but Walmart is still very strong. I don't think they'll ever challenge Amazon in that way. I don't think they'll challenge Amazon in that way. But Amazon, they haven't been doing so well because I think they really made a mistake with that Whole Foods acquisition. I think they really made a mistake with Whole Foods, man. Whole Foods got them, you know, into these retail stores. I'm not an Amazon trader, so I don't know how Whole Foods is doing. But I feel like they got distracted with that. And I think the core business, not at risk, but it took a hit. I think it took a hit. You know. Maybe that's just me though. Yes, indeed. All right. Yeah. Stay cashed and stay cashed and stay. Well, you don't want to. Stay strapped. I don't believe in a dollar crisis or anything like that. I don't think so. I think the dollar still remains the global currency of the world, all right? Because, again, if you're a wealthy Botswanan, you're a wealthy Vietnamese, you're a wealthy, you know, outside of gold, pure gold, the U.S. dollar is really the only place to safely put your money. To safely put your money. All right, so I don't believe in any dollar crisis. Obviously, the dollar continues to lose value. like it's supposed to do, being fiat currency. But you know, I just don't see people from Kenya and people from Venezuela carrying around Chinese yuans. I just don't see it, man. China, at the end of the day, is still a very communist country. I think they're still very secretive. I still think people don't trust them. You know, so the dollar still wins. You know? You say you watch too many conspiracy videos? Hilarious. Yeah, absolutely, Big Zini. Cash is still king, man. Cash is still very much king. You know, I don't believe in a world where people are just going to be carrying around gold rocks. You know, it's ridiculous. Because the average American can't tell fake gold from real gold. All right? But many of us can tell fake dollars from real ones. NIO. That's a nice penny stock move here too. All right, nice play here. Very, very bullish. All right, very, very bullish. Up there now too. Very good, strong volume today. Boy, strong volume today. Yeah, very, very bullish. All right. Let's look at the 10-minute. All right, so go ahead. On the 10-minute, if we again zooming in here, we're losing a little bit of strength. Obviously, we need some people to pick this up tomorrow, right? You know, we need some people to pick this up tomorrow. I don't like going smaller than maybe 5 or 10 minutes, just because, you know, there's just so much noise that can kind of get you carried away here. But yeah, you just need some people to pick this up. But again, it's gotten some highs, so let's find a nice little floor here, where guys start coming back in here, and let's see what happens. But yeah, this is a very bullish trend. All right, now you just got some profit taking here. Badgers Hideaway, why play the short? There's so many reasons to play the short, man. There's so many reasons to be very bearish. You know, I think to be bullish in this economy is to kind of have your blinders on for the risk that's out there. And then to also be so well capitalized that waking up in the morning and being 200 points down doesn't bother you. You know, because we have that kind of risk out there. Yeah, PayPal. Yeah, PayPal will be around. You know, during the dot-com crisis, look, Amazon survived the dot-com crisis. I would love to see PayPal buy MoneyGram. I would love to see. I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, why doesn't PayPal stop in here and buy MoneyGram for like $4 a share? Give themselves international exposure, right? Buy MoneyGram, get into how many, what is it, 45,000 global locations or whatever it is? I mean, it's more than that. They should just step in and buy MoneyGram right here. You know, I think it would be a solid addition to their business. But hey, I'm not in the executive suite, so I don't know. But I just think MoneyGram would be a great pick up right here. And MoneyGram too, you know, let's go back to that chart. MGI, excuse me. You know, this is one, you know, you can take a look at too. All right, here's the weekly. Again, guys, loading up here on MoneyGram. Not going to say it's going to, you know, they've already delivered. The earnings weren't the greatest, but they weren't that bad either. All right, but again, it's been a loser for quite a long time here. And guys are starting to kind of pick up MoneyGram off the floor here, and let's see what it can do. Again, no promises here on this stock. All right, because you got some fundamental issues there too as well. Amzn and macro, you know, and also macro there too, because, you know, crypto is a challenger. You know, crypto is a challenger to those kind of businesses. You know, so you got some risk involved there too. What's going on with Amzn stock? Well, oil is beat up. Oil is beat up right now. That's what's going on. Michael Cohen on TV tomorrow, 10 a.m. John, I buy options. I'm an options. Stocks, when it comes to stocks, just OTCs that I buy stocks on. But day trade, if I do day trade, which isn't often, more or less I'm swing trading on the options. All right. Mostly swing trading. Preferably overbought is my favorite setup. And buying puts on overbought options. Do you think ST acquired? Do you think? Possibly. But I mean that post office, you know, that was huge. That was a huge loss for them, man. That was a huge loss for that. And I should have picked that off the table, that too. That STMP, that was such a gimme, wasn't it? That was just such a gimme, wasn't it? STMP picking it up off the floor like that. I mean, that was just such a gimme, but maybe the hourly shows it better. I mean, yeah, the hourly does show it better, actually. You know, that was such a gimme right there. You know, but that post office situation was their bread and butter, man. That post office, it could. I don't know what else is out there, but that UPS, you know, that U.S. Postal Service contract was a very big deal for them. And again, I remember I complained because you had this weird option trade on my Twitter. I saw it on Black Box. It was weird. It was like the guy bought it. He bought it like somewhere. Yeah, he bought it like on the 13th. And it was for like the 150 put. It expired the day of earnings. It just didn't make sense. You know, the way it came off is like somebody knew something. And when I posted, a guy said, well, that's not enough. And I'm thinking, well, that's actually how it's supposed to work. When you've got inside information, you don't go all in, right? It's 100,000, 200,000. And what happens is that the false multiplier of the where you set the trade, that's what generates the return. So it's a $150,000 bet. It was way out of the money, and the return was like 400 to 500% on $150,000. Huge return. You know, huge return. The trade had no hedge or anything, and it was just very suspicious. But you know, maybe I'm seeing something else. Oh, absolutely. I mean, think about it, dude. I mean, you know, he bought $150 puts for literally pennies. You know, for literally pennies, where in the market when the stock was trading at 198, and for same week expiration. So those were trading for nothing. I might be able to dig up. Let me see. I might be able to dig it up. Is this the trade here? Spot. You know, I don't have time to pull it up. It's going to make me go through all that again. Yeah. Said one executive sold millions worth a week before the drop. Yeah, and they're going to get away with it, man. Nobody's going to hold these people accountable. Nobody's going to hold these people accountable. You know, they can do that. You know. David Lincoln was in here. And you got the CFO of Wayfair. He's selling at the top right now. He's selling like crazy right now. You know. Obviously, you know, what's been done is done, but yeah, these guys can do that while you have innocent people going in there and buying at the highs, suffering from FOMO. But you know, obviously that's a different situation. Casual dining stocks are dead. Yeah, absolutely. I used to be big into like Ruby Tuesdays and shit like that. I don't remember what the ticker is. What is the ticker? Ruby? Do they even still trade Ruby Tuesdays? I think they might have went bankrupt. But, yeah, I used to be into those kind of plays. Does ODP still alive? Office Depot? Actually still alive? Whoa, shit. Yeah, Office Depot is one I've been watching to see if it's going to, you know, because it's so cheap. You actually, you know, but I'm thinking, could anyone ever step in and buy this? And that would be the squeeze of death, being that it's so cheap. I'd hate to short and for someone to step in. But I'm thinking, who would want to buy all that real estate, all those employees, you know? But, you know, B2B businesses are quite lucrative. And they have decent margins because businesses can afford to spend more money. All right. Let's take a look at a couple more before we get up out of here. You guys know I can go all night with this shit. Stryker Corp. Yes, I said Corp. SYK. I don't know anything about this one. It says healthcare business. Again, another stock that's just kind of, you know, overextended itself here. You know, this is just this is one of my favorite setups right here. And again, I can almost assure you, there it is. Oh, God. One of my favorite setups. The hourly crack. 25, 50. Oh, God. And you just load like crazy at these levels. You know, and you're looking for just $1, $2. And it's just very, very much a high probability short from these overextended plays. Yeah, nice stock. Nice play, rather. JCPenney just hit $1? Sheesh. Yep. I mean, that was fast. I was really fast. Damn, I wasn't paying attention. God damn, that was really, really fast. That was really fast. I felt bad about Macy's because I think that was one that, again, you know, we all could have made some money on. Obviously, looking at I mean, you know, hindsight is always 20/20. That's why I'm not missing out on Macy's. But Macy's delivered a decent report. You know, Macy's delivered a decent report. You know, I thought we would get a spike so I can get in because I've been looking for an entry back into Macy's. I was actually in Macy's at 32 to 25. And I thought we would get a spike on that. But Macy's is another one that, again, is going to continue to go lower. But see, I was waiting for a spike. Waiting for a spike on Macy's and then to get back in for the ride back down. I'm so disappointed in Pred, Nick. I'm so disappointed in Pred. You had guys, calling my phone telling me, hey, man, we got 300 million coming down the pipe. I mean, stuff that I couldn't say on my show. I couldn't say on my show because I didn't, because you tell some guys that and they're putting their whole mortgage, into the play and stuff like that. So I've restrained myself from kind of giving that kind of information out. But I'm so disappointed in Pred. It was just very disappointing. Had some money sitting in there for almost a week and a half that I could have put somewhere else and made a lot more money. Could have sold a ton more of those 105, 106 EAs, while I was fucking with Pred. Would buying stocks on companies too big to fail be a good idea? Right. During the recession, we've learned that's a very great thing to do. We've learned, if 2009 happens again, we've learned that's a great thing to do because the government is going to step in and save those companies. So you get you get JP Morgan. One day you wake up and weeks go by and JP Morgan is trading at 11, 9, 10. If you hear the word bailout, buy every single dollar of JPM you can get your hands on. All right. In fact, if we go back to, can we go down to 2009? All right, here's 2008, 2009. All right, and when we had Jonathan Bogan on here, he talked about some of these banks, right? Look at this, man. Total capitulation from $52 to $15. 52 to 15. Government steps in, buys a lot of toxic debt. And, just, 7 months later, you're sitting back pretty again. All right. So, yeah, buying those kind of things in recessions, hindsight shows are very, very lucrative. And, of course, if you've been a holder until now, you're, more than likely a millionaire. And, of course, depending on how much you were able to buy at 15, if you had the guts to keep holding. What's my long-term holdings right now? GLD, JNUG, Wayfair. I'm selling Wayfair right now. I have Lowe's. A ton of puts on Lowe's. Yeah, that's pretty much it right now. That's pretty much it right now. That I would say the long term. IYR. I've got that sitting out there. All right. But 2019 for me is I'm just waiting for the floor to drop again. All right, let's see if 3,000 is real. I think they're going to get 3,000. I think they're going to get 2,800. Excuse me, 2,800. I think they're going to get 2,800. My thing is, are we going to get back to all-time highs? Are we going to get to all-time highs? Can stocks continue to rise? Absolutely, man. Absolutely. We got QE forever. QE forever is the thing, man. They can't raise interest rates. They can't. Look what happened in October for 25 basis points, bro. I showed you Grubhub. 25 basis. This is 25 basis points. That's nothing. Appreciate you, Big Zini. That's nothing. Look what happened to these stocks on that much of an increase in the cost of money. If they can't manage a 25 basis point, we're never going back to the kind of interest rates that we had in the 1990s, in the early 2000s. We'll never see that again. They have no choice but to keep it the way it is. QE forever is what it is, man. They can't raise interest rates. You know? That's sad. You guys saw how Jim Cramer was going crazy in December, acting like a freaking madman. What's the craziest price increase you ever saw? Gosh, man, what is the craziest price increase? I mean, we've seen some really crazy ones here. I mean, I don't know, some guys in the chat room could probably give you others that are a lot worse. We've seen some really crazy moves here. We've seen some really crazy moves here, man. I don't even know where to start on that. We've seen a couple 1,000% moves. We've seen a lot of 1,000% moves. Yeah, dries. Yeah, dries. Yeah, there we go, Mike. Dries. You know, appreciate you, DNF Bob. You know, Dries back in the day was a beast. Dries was that stock, man. Like, you put $200 in, man, and you were coming out with you put 200, you coming out with like 330, 305 easy, man. Back in the day, Dries was just, you know, it's still in the chart. Look at this. Is way, where was this? This is now, that's way back when we used to, it's somewhere in here. I can, let me see the weeklies, but it's reverse split so many damn times. You know, you can barely see it. Yeah, it's forward split so many times, man. There's so much paper out there now on Dries, but Dries used to be a very low float stock that would just take off, man, and just leave you in the dust, just squeeze guys to death. You know, yeah, DCIX had some crazy runs too. The shippers used to be, I mean, 2016, 2017, the shippers were the place to be. You know, they were the place to be. Crude was expensive. They were making a shitload of money. AQXP. All right, let's see the broader picture here. This is a jumpy one, isn't it? All right, so yeah, you got some guys loading up here, AQXP. Got some guys loading up here. Is the pattern day trading rule helpful? Yeah, I think it is. I think the pattern day trade rule is helpful. But they're going to get rid of the pattern day trade rule once the market starts selling off and we're still at zero interest rates. Once the market starts selling, you're going to hear that oh, let's get rid of the PE. Guys can take advantage of the opportunities. You know. Again, I'm putting my tinfoil hat on for that, but I think it is helpful, man, because you got some people out there who don't really know what they're doing, and but you got some guys who, you know, they have a strategy, they just don't have the capital, and you know it's been working. They're building their account, but the PDT rule just really acts as this kind of annoying barrier to what they're doing. You know, so it can go both ways, man. But for the most part, I think it works. You know, it can keep you out of a lot of trouble. MTP ran today. Let's take a look at it. Oh, nice move on that. 325%. That's a nice little run. That's a nice little run. Obviously, most of it comes. Let's see here. Was that? Good Lord. Actually, it started in the morning. Oh, shit. Okay. Usually, a lot of times when you see a run like that, it's kind of gap and go. But this is, I mean, obviously, this had all the makings of an intraday run that started very healthy. Anybody could have been a part of it. Nice play. Obviously, you had some profit taking up there at 85, but awesome. Would I consider a job as a trader on Wall Street? I don't know, man. I don't know if I want to live in New York. I did that in 2012. I went out there to be a trader, remember? I don't know if, John, you've been here long enough, but I went out there because I wanted to be a trader. All right. I wanted to, actually, I wanted to sell, God, what are they called? I forgot what they're, God, I don't know, because I forgot what they were called. I forgot the name of that instrument. I forgot the name of that damn instrument. It's when, what is the name of that shit? It's when cities create bonds and sell to high net worth clients. I forgot what they're called. Basically, let's say when a county wants to build a hospital, right, or wants to build a road, and they're looking to raise money to do it, they can create this financial instrument, and they sell it to high net worth clients and institutions. And the people who are involved in selling those financial instruments, they make very, very good money. They make very, very good money. And I was looking to sovereign bonds. No, that's on a bigger scale. That's on a bigger sovereign bond. That's a bigger scale. I'm talking about communities, and you get to travel and you know, meet with people in a lot of municipal bonds. There we go. Thank you. Municipal bonds. I wanted to get into the business of selling municipal bonds because you get to travel, you get to meet a lot of very interesting people, raise a lot of money for a lot of good shit, and you can get very, very, very rich because the terms are so very lucrative. But just ran into a lot of brick walls. I didn't go to a top 10 school. I mean, all the bullshit, you know. But I was under the impression that, hey, if you're just poor, smart, and hungry, you know, that's what somebody was talking about. Have you ever watched the movie Wall Street? Yeah, I used to digest that shit. And I thought if I just show up with a nice suit and a lot of passion that the door would be open for me. But it very much is a class to itself. And you got to know somebody or just have somebody put you on or go, you know, or be in that clique. You know, so while I was there, I was like, fuck it, I can't sell municipal bonds. So I learned about the other things, and I came into penny stocks, and that's just how it is. Have I ever learned anything watching CNBC? No, actually I didn't. If you tell a beginner to watch CNBC, it just doesn't do anything for them. Once you figure out the beginning and then you watch CNBC, there you're like, oh, okay, I get what these guys are saying. And then you come to the conclusion like, damn, I used to think this shit was so complicated. It's really not. These guys aren't talking in a different language. Yeah, but yeah, if you guys saw some of those municipal bonds, they're like, you know, 6%, 7%. You know, and then you have certain cities that will pay in order just to do the loan, right? Or put the package together. They will front $4.5, $5 million, depending on the size of the project, you know, up front, you know, paying $1 million to the institution, helping them roll, you know, putting the bond together. You know, you had some guys who would, a team of 5, 10, 15, 20 guys walking out of, you know, an offering with 2.5, 3 million straight cash in their pocket. Obviously, you know, you had to be around for a while to get in that. But even if, you know, a junior on the team is walking away with 250 grand, easy, you know. Yeah, CNBC is just, you know, they're all co-opted by the major institutions just to get you to buy. You know, that's why, you know, speaking of Peter Schiff, you know, Peter Schiff is banned on CNBC. You know that, right? He hasn't been on in almost 2.5 years. He hasn't been on. They will not put bears on CNBC if you are a very strong bear. If you're on, you know, if you're a very strong bear, meaning in terms you can really break down the reason why it's not good to buy right now, you know, you're bringing up a current trade deficit. You're bringing up, you know, all. I mean, you're just bringing up the data that they just can't counter because it's just the facts. You're not coming back on that network again. You know, they like bears they can run over. You know, they like guys who are going to give the story of higher highs, man. They're co-opted by the financial institutions to get you to just buy, right? Because we know the stock market needs losers. Losers are very, very important to the stock market. They create the liquidity that traders need to go in and out. He needs people who are going to lose money, needs people who are going to continue to buy at high prices, who are going to continue to believe that if I can buy it at these all-time highs, I can sell it to someone at a higher price. All right? So you being CNBC, the last thing you need to be doing, especially if I'm a bank, right? I'm advertising on your network. I'm making billions of dollars on my trading desk. The last thing I need you to be doing is telling people to be concerned about the macroeconomic environment right now. You know, I'm paying you $1 million a month to run my commercials that tell people how great of a bank I am and how trustworthy of a bank I am. You want to keep getting my money? Then you better keep telling people that the market is going higher. That's how it works. Yeah, he's black. He's you know, I don't want to say blacklisted, blackballed right now. I'd say that right now. Yeah, they like the fake bears, you know, guys who get ran over and stuff like that. They love beating up on those guys. The guys who really can't defend themselves. They love beating up on them. You know. And then there's this one Asian, what's the name of that Asian Bitcoin guy who keeps going in there and embarrassing himself? He keeps, gosh, they're just, and I don't know if he can't tell like it's an inside joke where they just making fun of him. Every time he's on there, he's talking about like Bitcoin going to 25,000 and they always bring him back on after Bitcoin is dumped, right? Like they're just clowning him. And I think like he can't tell, you know, that they're like really making fun of him. It's really hilarious. You guys know who I'm talking about. Can somebody tell you why Bitcoin is worth more than zero? Yeah, Bitcoin is just, you know, I just know it's limited. I know it could never, you know, it could never be a victim of inflation. Yeah, but that's pretty much it. All right, I'm gonna get up out of here. I know it's pretty late already, even though I'm going to be back up here at 7. Well, no, actually 6 in the morning. I wake up in about 6 watching CNBC. Even though I hate that guy, even though I freaking hate that guy, I'm still gonna watch. You know, and most traders hate CNBC, but we're still gonna watch because there's really nothing else to freaking, watch in terms of business news. I know Yahoo's trying something on there, but that's horrible. That's a snore fest. Bloomberg is okay. Bloomberg is okay. Sometimes they've got some interesting personalities. Fox Business, they get carried away and get too political. So CNBC is still the only real pure, I don't even want to call it pure, but, decent financial network out there, as much as what they say is bullshit. Cheddar's good. Cheddar's all right. He said Charlie Lee never apologized. He's not going to. He don't give a fuck, man. He sold at the top. He sold at the top, man. Shout out to Charlie Lee, man. Finessed all you motherfuckers, man. Charlie Lee of Litecoin fame. He finessed the whole game, man. He finessed the whole game. Should I buy Uber stock when it becomes available? Yes, because it'll go up. Yeah, because it'll more than likely go up. When I think of Uber, I think of, a Netflix. It's going to be trading at a stupid high PE. They're probably going to be losing money. They already are losing money, but people are going to say, well, what about the scale of the business, right? That's what they're saying about Netflix now. They're going to say the same thing about Uber. Well, what about the scale? Look at the potential, right? And that's why it's going to keep going up. That's the only reason why people will allow Netflix to trade at 138 times PE. And it used to be worse. I think it was like 160 at one time. All right. It was like 160 at the top. All right. Companies hemorrhaging cash. But, again, what about the scale of the business? They can be in over 200 countries, and again, they're going to say the same thing about Uber. Look at all the countries it can be in. Look at the potential to raise fees, right? Same thing they say about Netflix. Look at the potential to raise, their cost or their prices rather. Yeah, what John Rambo says too. It depends on the price, man. Look at the price, look at the trade action. Look at the price action rather, and see what people are doing. But I could almost assure you, it will more than likely go higher. It will more than likely go higher. FedEx, UPS. Yeah, I noticed that FedEx is kind of struggling right now, and that has a lot to do with the fact that, if you go back and you read some of the announcements about Amazon, they're putting together their own damn, FedEx practically. They went out and bought their own planes, and unfortunately they just lost a plane in a tragic accident, but, they're kind of doing their own thing. All right. Yeah. And we'll see the state of the economy when these companies go public. All right, watch what the state of the economy is when they finally go public. I mean, if we're selling off, then those will sell off too. Those will sell off too. I'm surprised Uber should have been public 2-3 years ago. But hey, everything happens in due time. I didn't think Snap would be, still publicly traded. I didn't think Snap was going to make it. What a turn of events in Snap. I didn't think Snap was going to make it, man. Coming into the year. I didn't think they were going to make it. People were talking possibly them getting bought out by Facebook and whatnot. But look where Snap is now. Quite a turnaround. And could very well continue to go higher. All right, they had a recently very, very good earnings report showing advertisers coming back on the app. You know, that they figured out how to improve engagement. So a really interesting story there on Snap. Why is the public last to get on Uber? It's like the early investors use the IPO to get. Absolutely, that's what IPOs are for. IPOs are used to pay back early investors. Well, most early investors get paid out in other rounds, right? So you may have an individual who got in, at the early stages, for $300K, he got, 100,000 shares for like $300,000, right? Because that's what happens at the early stages. You're taking a huge risk. Several stages later, he might get bought out for 25, 30 million. He may not even make it to the IPO. He may not even make it to, if he's bold enough to continue to hold, even though he's getting offers, by now for hundreds of $1 million for his original position. Then yes, he's going to walk away a very, very wealthy man, he or she. But typically when it comes to startups, early investors get bought out in later rounds by investment banks and other kind of institutions. Or sometimes the owner of the startup, he's finally in a position where he's got some cash, some private leverage. He'll go to his early investors and say, hey, I want more of my company back, and he'll go and pay out his early investors. And sometimes you have a situation where your early investors don't want to sell. All right, that can happen too. Shout out to Amy Early putting out Pura. Absolutely. February 6th, Snap overnight long, rewarded 64. Okay. Bats, is that what you're doing now? Is that your primary strategy now? Is just the straddles on these oversold stocks, or that's just kind of what you it's just a really good thing when you see an opportunity you go ahead and place? Caterpillar. We had you had a bank come out and not write down, but what's the word for it? Put a new price on CAT. The word for it right now escapes me. I gotta get rid of that. I don't know what I was doing there. Straddles, yes. Okay. Plus you're day trading your SPY and IWM. IWM is another one too. IWM is another. Oh man, that's a whole nother story there too. You could probably check my Twitter. I was killing it on that too. Again, most of the IWM companies, again, heavily leveraged. Most of them can't even afford to pay back a lot of the loans that they already have taken out. Any increase on interest rates, just sends them reeling. Opinion on McDonald's. McDonald's very good, man. Automation is going to help out McDonald's. I love what they're doing with the little touch screens. They got to figure out how to get the feces off the screens, right? You had a couple universities do some surveys where they were showing that 90% of the McDonald's screens in certain parts of the UK had cow feces on the glass. I don't know if it's been done in America, but that's a very disturbing thing. But I do know now they have this thing where they go out and clean the screens regularly with a solution. But I like it. You go into the thing, you put in your order, put it together, and still a shitty job, right? Still a shitty job, but they figured out how to make it work. And McDonald's is a great company, one of the best. Have a good night, Desert Edge. Thank you for being here, bro. Yeah, IWM is what IWM is weak companies, man. They're companies nowhere near as strong as companies in the SPY. So nowhere near as strong. I mean, you know, there's some companies in IWM that, you know, make less than $20 million. You know, if you go on barchart.com, you can just go to Google and type in IWM components and see what's inside IWM, you know, inside that ETF. It's a lot of weak companies, you know, but they try to mix in some things. That's all, you know, like a few shares of Amazon. That was weird, you know, but you got a lot of weak oil plays, you know. This was an interesting, this is an IWM CRC, which is a mid-range oil and gas explorer. And they were killing it back, you know, last year, but obviously oil turned down. Yes, indeed. All right, guys, let me get out of here. Because I can keep going and going and going. I love this shit. But I'm going to be up, probably watching CNBC Asia, even though I can't trade nothing in Asia. All right. Let me get up out of here, guys. Shout out to everybody who watched the show. I'm going to be checking up on you guys like this weekly. I like this setup. I can be coming back a little bit more often, huh, though? I don't know why I keep saying that. Because I'm really just kind of selling premium now. A few directional plays, but, you know, for those of you guys who I've been catching up with, just selling a lot of premium, man. I'm very comfortable doing that. Selling options, out of the money options, and, you know, collecting that time value. You know, Rico is kind of loud. Yes, indeed. Appreciate you, John Rambo. Thank you, bro. Thank you. I appreciate you calling in and telling us about that ticker. People are going to look into it, and we'll be back and see where it is in you know, a couple of days, bro. Thank you, Three Hooks. Appreciate you, man. Bass, as always, appreciate you, bro. You know it, man. All right. Yes, indeed. T. Kelly, appreciate you. Stockerfella, thank you. Bruce Mason, thank you too, Bruce. Appreciate you, man. I appreciate you guys. Some of you guys spent the whole night with me. I appreciate the 2.5 hours. You know, a lot of people don't love this that much. Very, very rare. You know. Jim, appreciate you. John Hill. All the guys, all the new people, please press subscribe if this is your first time here. Blue Cousin, appreciate you. The Badgers Hideaway, thank you. Thank you. I hope you guys learned anything. The new people. All right. A lot of opportunities out there. You know, just be careful, man, because not all of them look like great quality setups. All right. We have my man Batson here again showing you guys with the straddles. If again you don't know, that's basically taking both positions. You know, Google that. You know, Investopedia is a really great website where you can learn a lot of new things. Oversold, overbought conditions are really great opportunities to make some good money. Particularly when you're talking about an exchange that is currently, you know, in limbo. Nobody knows how much we got left in the tank, and things appear to be slowing down. Yes, indeed. All right. Oh, no, they'd never have me on CNBC. I'd be out of there so quick because I'd bring up all type of OTC stocks. Bro, do you know how rich you could get if you got on CNBC and told them about an OTC play? And you said, hey, folks, let me tell you something, America. If you want to make some money right now, get into this ticker right now. Do you know how much money you could make? Good Lord. A lot of people watch CNBC, and a lot of people, you know, every word that comes out of their mouth, they buy it. Oh my God. If I got on CNBC, bro, I'm going to pump the, man, shit. Don't put me on there, bro. Oh man, you know, that's a $4,000 or $5,000 return, dude. You know, you bring up an OTC stock, and next thing you know, you got $5 million pouring into that thing. You know, watch CNBC sometimes when they talk about these stocks, and they literally, people are talking about the stock, and the stock starts moving up. So these people have the power to move tickers. And these are tickers that trade 20 million, you know, shares a day. And I'm talking 50, 60, 70, $80. So if they're moving that kind of money to an OTC, come on. You know, but they go out of their way to make sure they don't talk about it because they know they got that kind of leverage. Oh, yeah, they turned my mic off. Get his black ass up out of here. I wonder if we can't put you kind of people on here. Get him out of here. Yeah. But then I'll be walking off that stage with, you know, 700% in my account, you know. I'll have the trade already set. It's a 1 cent stock set to sell at 7. What's the opinion of Gordon Gekko's speech about greed? I mean, under the system of capitalism, he's right. I mean, so he's just being a capitalist. That's what it is. All right, let me get out of here, man, because I've been saying that for five times. All right, guys, trade well. Catch up with you guys again very, very soon. Every time I try to have a trader on here, guys cancel up on me. I've had like 4 or 5 guys. I don't know. People don't really like to be out there like that, you know. It actually takes a lot to kind of put your name out there. All right. Trade well. Let's see where the market goes over the next 2 days, folks. All right. This is Pivotal. Later. Yeah, John will go a whole freaking 2 hours, dude. I know you got tickers up the ass. Good night, T. Kelly. Thank you. Yes, indeed. I'm out.